We've seen lots of long lines at caucus locations around Colorado tonight. Well, the same is true across the nation. Here's a time lapse of a caucus location in St. Paul, Minnesota. Look at all of the people constantly on the move, letting their voices be heard. Now, Peter Hanson is back in the quieter studio with Anne to talk more about the national races.
Thank you, Marshall. I think that was just a sign, Dr. Hanson, of just how crazy people are about politics this year, right?
That's right.
And then when we take a look at the national map, in fact, if we look now at the delegate count showing the results from across the nation, this map is pretty telling about what people are saying about Donald Trump. He is a force to contend with. I know a lot of Republicans were hoping he would go by the wayside. That's obviously not the case.
Well, absolutely. Tonight was a real success for Donald Trump. And, you know, what I noticed is something new, and that is his numbers, which had been hovering right around 30%, are now starting to get into the 40s in terms of the percentage of the vote he's winning. So he's building a larger coalition than he's shown us in the past.
Is this a true sign that Republicans need to get on board with Donald Trump as the candidate?
Well, I think they remain terribly divided. You know, the Republican establishment had been hoping that Marco Rubio would be their candidate. They'd been sending signals that they support him. He won in Minnesota, but Ted Cruz won in Oklahoma and Texas. So there was no sign that Rubio was consolidating support from the voters. So I think the Republican Party still faces a real dilemma.
Okay, what about Hillary Clinton? Let's take a look at the Democratic side of this delegate count. As we pull up the national map, Hillary Clinton did not take Colorado, but had a pretty big night tonight herself.
Well, it's a tremendously successful night for Secretary Clinton. So she swept through the South, and that is based on the strength of her support among minority voters. That doesn't come as a great surprise. I think some people were wondering if that support would hold. It clearly did. On the other hand, Bernie Sanders did well in caucus states like Colorado.
So what's next for Bernie Sanders?
Well, I think it's a real question mark. You know, he did well in caucus states like Colorado, which depend upon enthusiastic supporters showing up. But nonetheless, Hillary Clinton is very far ahead in the delegate count. I think that lead is going to continue over time. So it's not clear right now what his path to the nomination would be.
And on the Republican side, what do you think is the next step that we will see, the next change that we see?
Well, I think Donald Trump is going to continue to do very well in the upcoming primaries. He has a lot of momentum now. None of the other candidates seem to be able to catch him. And in the upcoming primaries, there's a change happening, and that is many of those primaries award delegates on a winner-takes-all basis. That will allow Trump to expand his lead very rapidly.
All right, a big night all the way around. Dr. Hanson, thank you so much for being here with us tonight and offering your insight. We certainly appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
We'll be right back.